Give him a hand as he comes.
Thank you. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Or is it afternoon already?
Good morning.
Well, God bless you. It's good to be here with you again. I was fortunate to speak with you a couple of years ago. I want to thank Chaplain Mary for continuing to have trust in me to bring me in front of you and support our coming to your campus. Excited to meet your new Doyne students. Yes, sir. And all those on the podium with me, and happy birthday to you. Yes. Well, it's good to be here again. I've got a few things I want to talk to you about. Hopefully it won't be boring. Hopefully you won't fall asleep on me. I need a timekeeper, someone in the back of the room. 5 minutes. I got 4 things to talk to you about. And we're going to try to beat 5 minutes to talk to you about it. And we've already done that because Sister Mary took care of half of what I was going to say to you. That's written in your bulletin. Okay? So I currently am owner of Roger Doyne and Associates Insurance Agency, and I have been serving the Shorter College body since the beginning of that law in 2013. And we've got, and most of you all are new, so a lot of the students that we enrolled have already gone on in life. And so we want to talk a little bit about insurance. I'm going to just mention just a few things about my life. We're going to talk about just briefly why it's absolutely imperative that all of you, especially if you have children, have a life insurance policy. And then we're going to tell you what's happening in the Affordable Care so that you can be aware there are some serious changes that are coming in 2018, and I just come about all of that. As Reverend Mary said, I've been married to Miss Regina since 1993. That's 24 years. I was around 33 when I got married. I think she was somewhere around 30, 31. We had 6 children in 10 years, and we had all of them at home with a home birth. The most wonderful thing that you can ever experience. You could hear a pin drop in the house, the closest she got. And if she heard any noise, you know who she got onto. She was the boss. Our 6th child, Caitlin, she was 42 at the time, and it was a little shaky, so we actually had Caitlin in the midwife ward at UAMS. And that was a little dramatic. The placenta, the second birth didn't happen, and we had to pray her through that. I graduated in '79 from Parkview High School, went on to U of A Fayetteville, then transferred to Oral Roberts University. And this hopefully will be encouraging to some of you here. I walked across the stage before most of you were born in 1985 at Oral Roberts University. But it was an empty sachet. I only had to go back and finish my senior paper in order to get my degree in English Bible. I never went back. And once I left to finish that degree long term, I had to write the paper, and I just hit a wall. I just could not do it. And pretty soon I just gave up. And I went to, and I said, I'm just going to start over. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the devil a black eye because I couldn't write that paper. Now I'm going to do a degree in writing. And I finished a degree in professional and technical writing with a double minor. And they gave me a minor because of all my studies, biblical studies and religious studies. And then my double major was in nonprofit studies. And right now, my wife and I, we started a nonprofit organization in College Station that reaches out to youth called Youth Institute of College Station. Okay? The lesson of that is don't give up. Some of you have had similar stories here. You've tried and you didn't get it done, and now you find yourself at Shorter College, but 15, 20 years may have passed, and you'll see all these young people around you. Am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? And I want to say that you are. And keep going. You'll get there. I didn't tell Dr. Lennon Mary, that I've already enrolled in a doctoral program to get my doctorate of theology in the next 2 years. I started after 20 years of construction. 2008 just about destroyed us, almost lost everything with the downturn. And we retired from construction, and the Lord led us into insurance. And although I've been in school all my life, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And, there's ways that you can make it. You don't have to punch the clock if you don't want to. But punching the clock is okay. But just make sure that you got something that you can fall back on. Whether that's doing hair, whether that's detailing cars, whether that's selling insurance, carpenter, something that you can fall back on, because you don't know what's going to happen in the economy. Okay? When it destroyed my construction company in 2008, I was a handyman. And I made a living supporting my family being a handyman because I knew how to do construction. And then we started driving the bus. But we started the agency, and I wasn't afraid, and I started from scratch. No one taught me anything, and now I own one of the few all-black insurance agencies in the city. Okay? And this is what I want to close this section out with, is that my first recruit into my insurance agency came from Shorter College, Darlisa Ware. My first recruit. She's my first recruit. Darlisa's gone through some things. Okay, that's 5. And we're just getting her back acclimated, and she's getting ready to rejoin us. The problem is I need a whole lot more. We want to do something special in this city, in the area, and I'd love to take many of you with me. So if you're looking for something that you can put in your back pocket, you want to get with me afterwards, because I need about 10 agents that I can train and put under my belt, teach you what I know, and we can take this city. And the reason being is because we care. I care for people. I just do. It's just in me. God's in me. I care for people. It ain't about making money, but when we care for people, we make money. Okay? All right. Second, the need for life insurance. In my early 30s, my uncle, who was my mentor in construction, brought in an insurance agent to sell us some insurance. I didn't know any difference between term and whole life, and they educated me. And I was young. I started having all these children, and the Bible says we know not the day nor the hour, right? We don't know when we're going to go. One of the things we don't like to talk about is life insurance, because you think you're planning your death. Health insurance is good. All of us need health insurance, but there are some people that go through their whole life and they never get sick, never go to the hospital, never use the health insurance. But it's necessary. You need it. But there's a guarantee for life insurance. You gonna die. Whether you want to or like to or even want to think about it, you are going to die. And somebody's going to have to bury you. And all of you have seen the stories, the pitiful story. Going to church to a funeral and they pass their offering bucket because they have life insurance. And if you have children, come on now. One of the ways the community of the lighter hue perpetuate their wealth is through life insurance. First of all, they make sure they have enough on them so if they die, their children never have to beg, borrow, or steal. And then they put millions of dollars on their mom and dad, and all the brothers and sisters pay for it, so when mom and dad die, they pay off all the houses and cars. I know people that do that. But regardless of what you think about it, make sure you establish what kind of budget you have. I don't care if you have $5 set aside in your budget. Go and find out what $5 will buy you. I bought a $400,000 term policy when I was in my early 30s. It cost me $45 a month, and I bought it for 20 years. Term is for a term. Because I wanted to make sure that if the Lord called me home, my 6 children would never have to worry about college. They never have to worry about beg, borrowing, or stealing. $400,000 to be divided between the 6 of them. My wife can pay off the house, take care of the children's college. Everything is well. I did a good job. Give me a hand. That was good. This is the mistake I made. The reason you buy term when you're young is cheap. If you were to compare a term to the whole life has a savings account in it, and they charge you for that. You make more money just going and putting your money in a bank. But they know you're not going to do that, so they give it to you in an insurance company and charge you high premiums for it. The reason you buy term when you're young is that it's cheap, and you can take the difference that you would have spent on a whole life and go and put it in an investment account and save $25 a month for the next 20, 30 years. And by the time you reach my age, now I'm 56, you are self-insured. I knew that. I said I was going to do it. I said I'll do it tomorrow, and 30 years passed by and I never did it. Just recently bought me a whole life policy. You either save the rest and invest it, or if you're not disciplined or don't know how to do that, you go get your whole life policy and marry them together, because the whole life will last your whole life, but you bought it when you're in your 20s and 30s and it was cheap and it stayed the same for your whole life, and the term protected you in the hundreds, even $500,000 for your children in case you were to leave while you're young. So this is what you should do while you're young and it's cheap. Buy your term policy to cover your children if you have them, and then marry that either with a whole life policy that lasts the rest of your life, or find your broker and start saving and investing $25, $50 a month, and you'll be self-insured. Okay? You know, it's unlimited, the kind of money. I've spent 20 years of construction. I wish I'd known what I know now. I never would have picked up the hammer. Okay? Let's move on to number 3. Did I go past my second 5 minutes? Obamacare. Obamacare, the Affordable Care, is actually two sides. It's the free Medicaid side called Arkansas Works, which most of you have, and it's the paid marketplace side where you pay. Same insurance, but you pay. On this side is free. It's free for those who make 138% of poverty level and under. Say 138. That's going to be very important in a few minutes. If you make under 138% of the federal poverty level, it's free to you. Now, some of you may find you've got a small copay or something like that, and they start charging some of you $13 a month, but just, you're not paying. Because the very thing that you're getting for free, I have clients that are paying for that very same insurance over $1,000 a month for it. So if you're paying $13 a month or $8 to go see a doctor, it's still free. All right. What is 138% of the federal poverty level? I was supposed to time myself and I didn't do it, so I don't know where I am. 138% of the federal poverty level. Well, let's start with poverty. What is 100% of poverty? 100% of poverty is $11,700. Now, we don't have time to talk about the size of the households. This is for one individual. $11,700 is poverty. 138% of poverty is $16,300. So if you make $16,300 under, you get the free side, Arkansas Works. If you don't, we have to take you to the marketplace, put in all your information, bring up a number of plans. The marketplace is just a virtual mall where you get to choose your coverage from different companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Ambetter, Qual Choice. They all have different deductibles, different co-pays, different office visits for your doctor, and you decide based upon the price what you want to pay. And that's where you've been hearing the complaints, because middle America is killing them. If you still make just light over poverty in the marketplace, you get out okay. Just to give you an idea, my sister's single. She made $30,000 a month. $30,000 a year. Her premium was around $200 a month. Okay? Drop that, it goes down, down, down. But if you make $30,000 to $50,000, $60,000, it kills you. Of course, you make over $100,000 a year, and you could probably, you're still going to be high, but you could probably afford it. Now, the change is coming. Now, we have a Republican governor, and he campaigned on killing the Affordable Care. Now, understand you cannot kill the federal side. It's here to stay, the federal side. But they passed the Arkansas side for the state side that allows us to have the Medicare, expanded Medicare. States like Tennessee, Texas, and other states, they did not pass that. So those people 138% below poverty level, they have no insurance because they can't go to the marketplace and buy it. It will not sell it to them. They didn't expand Medicaid, so they can't get what you have. So what they do with those people is they give them a waiver so that they would not get penalized, but they have no health insurance. You can thank God for your governor. Although he's Republican, he campaigned to kill it. He is our biggest proponent of it. He fought for it because all of his rich friends at these hospitals told him that if you kill it, it's going to kill us. And now he actually fought his own party to keep it. But to stay true to what they believe, they had to make some changes, and the changes are coming. Now we've got a Republican president. Next year, that 138 drops to 105. You do the math. If you're 105 and below, you still keep Arkansas Works, although they're going to assign a work requirement to it. Okay? 105 above. So that means, somebody do the math. Tell me what 105 is. I didn't do the math and I apologize. But 105 above, you're going to have to go to the marketplace. So this is what's going to happen. Those of you that have part-time jobs, or you have jobs and you make 105 and above, and somebody's going to tell me what that is in a few minutes, they're not going to drop you at the first of the year. They're going to cycle you out over 3-month periods. You're going to start getting letters saying that your insurance is going to cancel for Arkansas Works on a certain date. First date is going to be March 31st, and you need to see an agent and transfer over to the marketplace. And then you're going to call me, and we're going to sit down and fill out an application, see what your income is, and we're going to sell you a plan based on your incomes, which shouldn't be much. You know, you could be paying 20, 30, depending on how much you make. It depends on your income. Okay? And you're going to have deductibles and co-pays, and we're going to have to talk about all that. But in the meantime, right now, they're dropping. Now, there's going to be 60,000 of you all that are going to be affected by that. Over 60,000 of you are going to be dropped from the Affordable Care. But right now, there are people being dropped right now. How many of you have gone to the hospital thinking you had insurance and you showed the doctor your card and they told you didn't have insurance? There's one right there. She's actually my client. What has happened is that DHS says they've been sending out these letters telling you that you need to recertify, renew, which means that you need to fill out a new application and recertify that you're still below the poverty level. But nobody's receiving the letters. Okay, somebody say it right. Now, I don't know if they're lying or you moved. I don't know. Which happened?
From they can go from different lanes, and some of the information haven't processed over there.
Yes. Okay, that and students who leave college and they have different addresses and they move from mama's house to their own house to somebody else's house and the mail didn't follow. They're writing the letters, they give you 30 days and they cancel your policy, which means you have to contact someone like me and we fill out a new application and we can get you recertified. Okay? After next year, it's not going to be that easy because once you go over to the marketplace, if you miss those deadlines, if you don't answer the letter, if you don't send them verification and you get kicked out of your policy, you will not be able to get back in until open enrollment, which is November 1st. So those of us that are used to the free part, and because when you qualify for Medicaid, you have open enrollment all year long. So if you get kicked out, you can get back on, and you know there's room. It won't be room if you get transferred over to the marketplace. So we need to keep a good relationship. How am I doing on time? I have 5 minutes left? I'm done? Am I done? 20 minutes is gone already? Really? Oh, wow. We must have been really having some fun here. My Lord. I hadn't even gotten started yet. All right, let's shut this down. I got 6 minutes? Okay. Any questions about that? Because my last bit is going to be more biblical than insurance. Last bit. Questions? Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Question. My question is, so students right now attending Shorter College and has no income or have an income of no more than $11,000. If they're not insured for health care, you can get them insured.
I can get you insured. We actually have applications with me. I'll give you that. You give it back to me. I'll walk it through. I've developed a very good relationship with the DHS East, and we can get you taken care of. In addition, if any of you are already insured, it doesn't matter who your agent is and who you went through. If you have
Any problems, you have get any letters, have any questions, just call me. My office is in Park Plaza Shopping Center. We've got flyers that you have with my information on there. We'll help you get that mediated.
And also, the second part of that question is, so the students whose income is 11,000.
16,300.
1,000 or less at this time will actually, for the most part, they have premiums that are free.
Free,
Is that
yes.
correct? Okay.
Some of them are getting $13.
In the mail, but if you're late on that or you're not paying them, they're not going to drop you. Not at this point. But after next year, all that changes. Any other questions? I would love to take care of all of you.
Just because I make money.
Because I care. I really do. I go the extra mile for my clients, okay? Open enrollment is coming up. Even if you have a plan, we can represent you, tell you what the choices are, make sure you know what your options are. Open enrollment you can change every year. You can go from one company, Ambetter, to Blue Cross Blue Shield, to Qual Choice. If you weren't satisfied with whichever one you're in, we can make that known to you and help you make those changes, yes.
How does Medicaid relate with your products, and if someone makes less than a certain amount, do they not qualify for the marketplace products?
Right. If you make less, at this point, if you make less than 138%, you cannot qualify for the marketplace. You have to take Medicaid. Now, there's two parts of the Medicaid Arkansas Works. There's traditional Medicaid,
And then that's the Arkansas Works, which allows you to enroll in a Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, Qual Choice. And some of you have gotten letters saying that they switched you to traditional Medicaid. That could be because if you're a single mother and you have children, they're going to put you in what they call parent caretaker. That's the white card of Medicaid, which means the limitations to that is some doctors doesn't accept it. Some of you found that out. Some of them you'll only so many times to your PCP, and then some medications you can't get. But the positive side of that is you have dental and vision if you have the white card with traditional Medicaid. And that's if you're disabled or you're not working and you have children. That's why they're asking everybody to recertify, because they got a lot of people on the roll that shouldn't be on there. When Trump got in office, I started transitioning to Medicare. So I'm starting to do more Medicare now than Obamacare. Okay? So I need people helping me. Any other questions?
I got a question. It may not make that much sense, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What about your family? What if that's the only income that's in that family, and it doesn't qualify, but you're trying to carry a whole family with you of smaller children? Do y'all got family policies?
For what? Life or
I'm
health?
thinking on life.
On life?
Sorry, I'm still stuck in life.
Yes, yes.
But I'm thinking like
Yes, ma'am. I represent several companies as an independent agent, and usually children are on as riders. My children had a $20,000 rider, and it covered all the children that I would have. And you may pay $6 for the rider, you know. So we'll all that. Okay? I think my time is about up. We have any other questions? Chaplain Mary, can I have 2 minutes? Can I have do I have 2 minutes left? Okay, 2 minutes. All right, now, student body. This is Shorter College. It's built on the Methodist Church, right? Religious connotations. When they talk about the Lord here. One of the challenges that I had, as you've heard my life story and what we believe in, it's amazing how quickly this is, since my days in Granite Mountain and now 56 years old, went by just like that. And by the time you reach my age, 56 years old, you start thinking about what's next. This is what I want to leave with you all. It's where you're going and how you get there. And now, more than we see. We live by what we see. There's two things that we need to keep in mind as you continue on this journey. That is, number one, the transformed life and how to pray. Because prayer helps you through the process of being transformed. The transformed life. Where are you headed? What is this Christianity? What is this all about? Paul said in Philippians 3, he says, we have been apprehended. He said he wanted to apprehend that for which he has been apprehended for. God has set up a reward system for the body. After the rapture, we all go to the judgment seat of Christ where we receive our rewards, whether good or bad. You be judged by what you did in this body once you became a believer. You have to take your eyes off of what you see in order that you might walk with Christ. And Paul said that I may attain to the resurrection of the dead. The resurrection of the dead is the picture of Christ. Once he was resurrected, he was perfected. All the work had been done. And all the rewards that God had for him for doing what he did, all of it was sealed and in place. Now, we talk about insurance and being prepared to die. We need to be prepared to transition, because once you're saved, you never die. We transition. But you're going to have glorified bodies, and you're going to have rewards in heaven. It's going to be based upon how you live in your body. 2 Corinthians says you're going to be judged based on what you've done, whether good or bad. That's going to be the judgment of Christians. But in the process, Romans 12 says that you have to be transformed. So we studied that we might be transformed. You have to go through the transformation process. And all your troubles, your trials, your tribulations, the things that you go through, all that's part of the transformation process. We have to do that well. Because once we close our eyes and we transitioned, then we'll dish out our rewards for what we've done in this life. Amen? Amen. How do you pray? I'll close with this, Reverend Williams. The Lord sent me 2 words by those that walk in prophetic callings about, Roger, I want you to pray without ceasing, and I failed because I didn't know how to do it. And recently I just asked the Lord, how do you do that? How do I pray all the time? Because of what he has called for me, he wants me to pray without ceasing. Just what he said in his word. And I'll leave you with this. Most of the times when we come up against the dilemma what the Lord said, he's already said it to us, but we thought it was just too simple. It can't be true. And this is what the Lord told me. The Lord's Prayer. See the Lord's Prayer like a course. And each one of the sections is the sections of the prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven. That's a whole book. You can pray all day on just our Father who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. There are many names of God. And every one of them means something to you. Jehovah Jireh, the God that provides. Jehovah Rohi, the God that heals you. Jehovah Tiskanu, Jehovah Mekadesh. All those mean something to you. And when you claim the names of God, that being transformed into your body. He's the God that heals you. Jehovah Rohi. So you're praying throughout the day. God, I thank you that you're the God, our Father, which art in heaven. God, Rohi. He heals me. You're just praying in the Spirit all day. Whatever you're dealing with, you're praying. You're going through that transformation process. Because God is making you into what he's already made you to be. God bless you. Love you.